just come for a very quick dog walk. It's only going to be about 20 minutes because we need to be in a place called Farnham for 8:30 this morning to go and pick up the new van. The place we're getting the van from, it's called Surrey Hills Commercials. It's not like a main dealership or anything, but it's not a private seller either. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of like an in-betweeny. Yeah, like a small business, I suppose.
It's not in between the two, it's a small business.
Yeah, but it's not like a private sale and it's not a dealership.
It is a dealership, a small dealership.
Okay, but it's not like a big, like, commercial van dealership sort of thing. So this is it, guys. We're in the new van. Well, I'm in it anyway. I'll run through everything to do with the van when we get home, tell you what it is and everything, because I suppose it's still a bit of a mystery at the moment. Yeah, I'm excited. So welcome everybody to our new van. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be. I thought it would fit on our driveway quite easily, but as it happens, it's bigger than I thought it was, so we've had to move a few things. So the van is a Peugeot Boxer L3 H2, which is a van terminology for how long and how high it is, basically. The Peugeot is a front wheel drive van, as opposed to the Sprinters, which are rear wheel drive. God, it's crows crowing everywhere. Which basically means that there's no drivetrain going to the back wheels, so that the load area is actually lower than you'd get in like a Sprinter van, which basically means that you have more head height in the back of the van without it having to be really tall, which is obviously a plus. The van's done 42,000 miles, which, to be honest with you, is pretty good. So with most commercial vans, you have to pay VAT on top of the sale price, and VAT at the moment is 20%. So if you're going to spend £15,000 on a van, 90% of the market you have to pay VAT on top, so that would be an additional £3,000, which would take a van that's worth about 15 up to 18,000, which is a bit of a killer. This van though, we managed to get without VAT. I can't remember the exact reason why this one didn't have VAT. I'm not sure whether the previous owner had already paid it, or what really happened, I'm not sure. But we didn't have to pay VAT on this van, which meant that we could get a better van for the budget that we had. We paid £17,000 for this van. Apparently prices have gone up a lot in the last couple of years because of COVID and everything. Everyone seems to be buying vans and doing conversions, and I think there's a shortage of computer chips as well, so there's less vans coming onto the market, or vehicles in general, I suppose. This has been like the only van that I've found after looking for like 2 months that really ticks all the boxes that we need. A lot of other vans like Sprinters and Transits and Crafters, they all kind of seem to go from being too short to too big. There's no middle ground really. So just for a bit of perspective, the internal load space of our old van, the VW, is about 2.5 meters long. A medium wheelbase Transit or a Sprinter van or a Crafter, I think they're all kind of similar. They're about 3.5 meters, but then the long wheelbase, so the next one up from that, goes to about 4.2, 4.3 meters, which is just way too big. But the van that we got, the L3 model, the internal length up to the bulkhead, which is down the far end, is actually 3.7 meters long. They do one which is slightly longer, which is 4 meters long, but we went and viewed one of those and it was still just a bit too big. And then width wise, I think it's around about 1.87 meters wide. Apparently you can fit a full-size double bed widthways in the van at the back. I'm nearly 6 foot tall though, and I feel like if we had it widthways, it would just still be a little bit too squishy. So I think we're going to stick with having the bed long ways and then perhaps a bit wider towards the back, similar to what we have in our old van. So Digby's got his own kind of little section at the side of the bed, if that makes sense. I also want to try and keep a lot of the things we put into the van a standard size. I don't really want too many things to be bespoke or custom fit, because then they start to get really expensive. I know you can get custom made mattresses that you can have built specifically for any nooks and crannies that you have, so it fits perfectly, but they start to get really expensive really quickly. So if we can just get a standard mattress in there and then maybe play around with some cushions for Digby or something like that, keep the costs down. Yeah, I want to try and do that, and I want to do that with the shower as well. So I want to just get kind of like a standard shower tray and then just kind of put the toilet on the shower tray or something like that. I don't want to start getting custom made shower trays that fit the toilet and all of that, because it does get expensive very quickly. So this is what I'm thinking anyway. We're going to have the double bed long ways up to here maybe, or wherever it comes to. It might come a bit further. Actually, no, I don't think it'll come that far. I think it might come to about where that column is, perhaps. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have that waist high, and then underneath, where most people have like a garage area in the back, we're going to make that like a bedroom for Joss to go into, and then he's going to have a single mattress coming out long ways as well, which should be the same size as our bed, and then he'll have his own bedroom underneath our bed. And then that's pretty much going to be the back. I can't remember which way round the main mattress is. I think it's going to be on this side, so then we'll have overhead cabinets along here to store clothes in and everything. And then in front of the mattress we're going to have our shower slash toilet, which is probably going to come to maybe where that hook is, kind of here somewhere. And then obviously this is just going to be left open for coming in and out and what have you. And then if we go over this side, what I'm thinking is we're going to have the driver's seat, which is on this side. We're going to put that on a swivel base so the driver's seat can spin round, and then I think we're going to get a third seat to put in here, and then a fold up table or something to go there, so then the driver and the passenger seat, they can sit opposite each other, and it's kind of like a little dining area. We were thinking about getting a swivel for the bench seat in the front there, but I think they're quite hard to get hold of and they don't really seem to work very well. So I think for now we're just going to leave the bench seat as a static seat, and then we might get rid of it and put like a proper single cabin chair in there and get rid of the bench seat, or we'll just leave it static. We're not really too sure. And then that leaves this kind of gap here, which we're just going to have as kind of like a kitchen cooking setup with the fridge, the sink, the hob and everything like that. I hope that made sense, but that's kind of what I've got in my head at the moment. There's so many things that I've been thinking about the last couple of months, watching countless YouTube videos of other people doing conversions. We're not entirely sure where we're going to put windows yet. We're not sure whether we're going to have a 12-volt fan in the roof, or whether we just have a skylight that opens manually. I'm not really too sure on that. I think that we're going to try and avoid having any gas, because gas is expensive. It's annoying. We just kind of want to try and avoid gas, to be honest with you. It's the same in the house, like we've got no gas in the house and it just makes life a lot easier. I'm pretty sure we're going to go with an induction hob, which is an electric hob, and it basically means that we're going to have a bigger power bank in order to power that. But I think that paying for more batteries and not having gas is just a lot easier, and then you haven't got to worry about installing gas and like all that kind of stuff, which is quite expensive anyway, so just kind of makes sense really. We are on a limited budget, so there's only so much we can spend on the van before we run out of money, and the plan is basically we're going to fit out this van to a point where it's habitable before we can sell the old van, because Becky still needs to use the old van for going to work and staying over at work. So we need to get insulation done, heating done, bed needs to be in, there needs to be power. But I think that's the core of where we need to get the van before we can sell the other one. And we're hoping that once we sell the VW, that should pretty much cover most of the cost of this van, plus the money we're spending on it. And yeah, that's the plan anyway. So time-wise, I'm hoping to have the van finished by the end of the year, which is about 10 weeks time. Well, I don't mean completely finished, because I think things like solar panels and the seats might wait until next year anyway, but getting the van as far as I can get it really. I'm hoping I'll have it done by the end of the year. The main aim though is to just get the van habitable so we can sell the other one. We had to get a loan out to buy this van, so once we sell the other one we can pay off the loan and then we haven't got to worry about it so much. So we're just going to get it as far along as we can, sell the old van, and then we should be all good after that. But I'm certainly looking forward to starting this adventure slash challenge, whatever you want to call it. I hope you're equally as excited to come along for the ride and we can learn things together and cross hurdles, find problems, solve problems, and all of that fun stuff, I suppose. So until the next one, guys, have a safe drive, stay alive, try not to spill anything, have a lovely day, and yeah, let's get started with this build.